Several homes and businesses severely damaged or destroyed in Northwest Arkansas. We have team coverage to bring you the very latest today.
We begin with 5 News Chief Meteorologist Matt Standridge, who's live at Nilfisk Advantage on East Robinson Avenue, where that building there was destroyed. And Matt begins our team coverage. Matt.
Hey, good morning, you guys. Damage everywhere. This has not been a good morning for us in Northwest Arkansas, but we want to give you a picture of what has happened from earlier this morning, from about 4:10 to about 4:30, where we have this likely tornado that hit from North Fayetteville and to South Springdale. We're right here live, like Ruben and Laura were just mentioning, at the Nilfisk plant. What they do here is they manufacture industrial vacuum cleaners, a lot of floor equipment, and you see the factory off in the distance just completely has been toppled. And here in the parking lot, just in front of this building, we've got just random debris from inside the building. Right behind me around this light pole, of course, you've got this tin metal siding or roofing that's been wrapped around. You can hear, I mean, it's very loud. You've got just, of course, lots of sticks. You've got several pieces from the building that are on the ground, numerous shingles. I mean, I even got a door hinge on one of the doors that was likely inside the building there. And we can just take a little bit of a tour. And this is not just here. We're on the south side of the Springdale Airport, which is just over here to your left. But this damage extends all the way back for a couple miles into the northern part of Johnson, southern portions of Springdale, North Fayetteville. But as we just kind of take a look around, the damage just continues to flow from this building. I mean, we're about 100, 200 feet away from the plant itself. You've got a lot of industrial waste. You've got insulation that's been brought everywhere. Back actually here towards the left, I wanted to show you this. This is some of the picnic tables that we actually had from that was closer to some of the common grounds just outside of the plant. We've got picnic tables that have been just thrown around and just in a jumbled mess. But a lot of crews are out working the scene here. There's going to be a car that passes by in just a second. But a lot of crews have been working. They've got stoplights that are out, so traffic is going to be very slow here on the south side of Springdale, North Fayetteville. But we've had damage all the way from there's a cell phone tower just behind the Northwest Arkansas Mall, so North Fayetteville, Johnson area. And then this extends all the way towards the airport. We're going to have live team coverage from around Northwest Arkansas. We're going to get to that. But first, I want to send it over to meteorologist Zach Scott. He was watching that rotation as it came in. Zach, do you have any more details from earlier this morning? And what can we expect next as we go into the next couple of hours as we are dealing with this cleanup? I'll send it to you guys.
Hey, great job out there, Matt. Be safe. We're still tracking some light showers. The severe threat is off towards the east. And again, we still, as you can see there with his live shot, dealing with some rain as people were out there trying to clean up. Yes, the storms, we were tracking them all night. Chief Meteorologist Matt Standridge started tracking them yesterday in western Oklahoma during the evening hours. They rolled through the overnight across the state of Oklahoma around 2, 3 a.m. That's when we started to see these thunderstorms moving into our eastern portions of Oklahoma and then crossing into Arkansas. The first storm, leading edge right there, that's the one created the potential tornado and the damaging winds. That's the first one to move in. Then we saw more storm reports coming in from the south. We're trying to back up our radar data here and show you that path. This is our storm, moved right through very quickly. This is just a 1-hour loop going from 3:30 to 4:30 a.m. The storm rolled in very quickly, tightened up, and started to rotate. Here's a screenshot. We'll stop it and we'll go every 5 minutes. We'll give you a screenshot here. As of 3:55 a.m., the line was coming in. I'll tell you this, at 3:50, it was straight. There was no rotation with it. Next scan comes out. Oh no, we're watching it. Here we go. We start to get that hook. You know by now, that's what we look for. Starts to rotate just to the southwest of Fayetteville. Here we are at the Johnson exit, the 5 News station, and then there's Springdale just to the southeast. That's where the damage was. Let's go 5 minutes ahead. We'll come in a little tighter here. That rotation really starting to tighten out. That little notch, that's what we look for in these lines of storms. As those brief spin-ups try to get going, they come in very quickly. About right now, around 4 a.m., that's when the tornado warning comes out, as again, it's tightening very quickly. Rotation moving over North Fayetteville and right over Johnson, right over us here at the station. We're going on air. The next scan comes out. We go in closer, and you can see how we get that higher reflectivity. That's likely when the tornado is now on the ground. Some debris being lofted up there. The radar thinks, oh, it's raining really heavy. Maybe there's some hail. No, that's likely our tornado, and that's the debris being lofted up into the air. Radar's hitting that and saying there's a lot of something in the air right here. That's likely our tornado. Tighter signature. Again, there we go, Springdale. We've got the school here. It's moving off towards the northeast to the airport. We've got the businesses. We've got the house, and it's not great. This is 4:05 a.m. in the morning. We go to the next scan. We zoom out. Look at this. Within 5 minutes, the rotation goes from southeast side of Springdale all the way up towards Frisco. It's still there. It's weakening. Tornadoes likely lifting. Of course, the National Weather Service will go out. They'll survey the entire path to see, did it hit the ground in Springdale? Did it lift? Did it touch down again? Did it lift again? The next scan, the rotation was gone, but the damage was done. We were already tracking the tornado. We were going to show you that path there, having some trouble with it loading, but overall, we saw it go from the southeast side of Johnson and then just to the west side of 265, and then cross over by the airport and lift it on up. But unfortunately, it went through a heavily populated area. That was the first storm. That was our first tornado warning. Then we watched the rest of the storm start to roll into the river valley. This area became the prime area to watch. We had a potential tornado. The National Weather Service out of Little Rock will go and survey this. Calling it some wind damage now out of Clarksville, just to the north. Tornado possibly came through there. We were live with that with the debris signature. And then we had a couple of other tornadoes, very impressive signatures coming out of LaFleur County. Again, heading towards Waldron, Scott County. We were watching those. Possibly 2 more tornadoes could have touched down. We'll tell you this, we know for sure they were strong storms and they were rotating. Again, on radar, everything was screaming could be a tornado on the ground just in a rural area. We did get some photos in. This is from Clarksville, sent in by Carrie Parker. It's looking off towards the northwest. It's possible this could have been a glimpse of a funnel. Maybe the tornado as it passed by about 8 to 10 miles to the northwest of Clarksville. You can see the funnel right there. Now, with the trees and the buildings in the way, you can't say for certain if it's on the ground, but it definitely looks like a funnel there. A very active start to the day. Things are quieting down, but that's the latest of the tracks of the storms as they push through. Ruben, Laura.
Zach, appreciate that. And we are learning at least 7 people are injured following the severe storms that swept through the Springdale area just after 4 this morning.
That's right. According to Captain Jeff Taylor with the Springdale Police Department, 7 people were taken to area hospitals with injuries. 2 of those are considered critical at this time. Right now, there is no other information about those injuries that's been released. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
There is also significant damage at George Elementary School in Springdale. This is a look at some of that area near the elementary school, but classes are canceled today for the entire school district.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about where this was. This is the area where we're talking about. The district in Springdale is closed for the day. Of course, Springdale, the biggest school district here in the state. As you take a look at some of the video and some of the pictures from George Elementary. Now, the elementary has been there since 1992. About 650 students in the elementary. A lot of damage. The roof completely taken off of that gym building and pushed off to the side, Laura.
Yeah, important to reiterate, though, the possible tornado that hit Springdale happened before we came on the air at 4:20 this morning, as we were on the air, I should say, but no kids were at school at the time, which is so important because, I mean, obviously very bad damage there, and the entire district did call off school for today.
Yeah. All right, let's continue our team coverage this morning of the possible tornado. Several business owners in Springdale waking up this morning to see damage to their stores, damages to the area.
Yeah, 5 News reporter Catherine Gilker joining us now from a furniture store on Thompson Street with a look at that damage.
I'm here just off 71B in Springdale, where BRASHEARS furniture was heavily damaged from last night's storm. Take a look at this chair and other furniture that was ripped out of the building. Just lots of damage there to the roof, as you can see, and lots of downed trees as well. Take a look at this video of the roof at BRASHEARS furniture, where it's partially ripped off, and it looks like there is a lot of damage inside the store. Next door, Outback Steakhouse doesn't appear to have any damage, but there are lots of downed trees. Crews in between the businesses continue to work on the power lines and gas lines. And also the lights at this intersection here at Thompson are still out, so there are police officers out here directing traffic, and it's moving very slow. So if you have to come to this area, please use caution. I'm live in Springdale, covering news where you live. Catherine Gilker, 5 News.
Okay. All right, thanks a lot, Catherine, for that. Again, another business suffering damage this morning, and a lot of that damage just now being found out as the sun started to come up around 8 o'clock this morning. All right, so the Jones Center in Springdale opened today to help those storm victims.
Yeah, so if you are dealing with damage, we do have a report from 5 News reporter Zoe Henry with details on that.
I'm inside the Jones Center where they're ready to go for anyone who was heavily affected by this morning's tornado. They've got water, fruit, donuts. They're also cooking food later. They've got shelter. What they want the community to know is that they're ready and open to go. They've spoken to several EMS teams to know where the need in the community is to take food and other things that might be needed, supplies, etc., in Springdale.
So far, it's been a little bit slow. I know we've been in contact with all the first responders, the police, the fire department, the Springdale Police Department, Springdale Fire Department, asking what we can do to help. So we've seen a few people come in just now in the morning, but we expect quite a bit for the afternoon and for lunch.
Now, the Jones Center again reiterates that they'll stay open as long as they need to for those who need it here in Springdale. I'm in the Jones Center, covering news where you live. Zoe Henry, 5 News.
All right, Zoe, appreciate that. And for a full list of places that are helping people who need supplies like the Jones Center is doing, you can find that list on our website, 5newsonline.com.
Absolutely. Now, for updates sent straight to your phone on the weather where you live and some of the damage, some of the areas you might want to avoid, you can download the free 5 News app in the Apple App Store or in Google Play. Make sure to turn on your notifications when you do that, though.
But we want to thank you so much for joining us for this special report. We're going to have much more team coverage coming up in a little bit on your 5 News at noon. Thanks.